Hi guys, my name is Serg Hospodarets and today I'm gonna speak about how you can apply platform engineering for the goodness of your engineering and business organization. So, about myself, I will tell you about my past to show you how relevant I am to this particular topic. So I started as many of you as a developer and then I went to technical leader and architect, and the team size at that time was around 10 people, right? When I became engineering manager, I started managing an organization of around 20 people. When I went to director of engineering, it was 50 plus people, many teams, engineering managers reporting to me, and I started working with other directors, seeing more than engineering, it's like more we working with product manager directors and then, when I went to senior director and global head of engineering, you learning that first, it's not only you managing the team of 100, which is the more people is the most important, but also there is sales, marketing, product, finances, and other pieces of organization. But we here to speak a bit more technical, so let's come back to the technical track. That's to show you the relevance that I see different perspective of the platform engineering creation and at different size from startups to enterprise scale. So I created a few platforms from mobile platform in CTrader to web cloud platform in Guidewire and William Hill. So I'm a contributor to DevOps and web. I contributed to Terraform, ECMAScript and JavaScript and Chrome developer tools, and I still love coding, and I will show you a few technical demos during this presentation. So let's go. First, why we even speaking about platform engineering, how we came to this and which problem did we try to solve. So if you read the books like Phoenix Projects, it's Fables, yeah, or Five Dysfunctions of a Team, you know that typically it's different parts of organizations represented by their chiefs or directors of team leaders, which need different parts. It can come to you as a statement from product managers, something you can hear from other teams, or company-wide guidance. Yeah. So which problem we had? Finance wanted the cost-effective engineering, the software delivery cycle. Usual story. I will show you then how we solve this problem, right? So product wanted faster time to market. So it was like every 3 months it was a big release. Between we couldn't deliver to production because CI/CD not effective. You know how it works, right? Security didn't want company to have bad picture, go to newspapers with the bad news, so they wanted security checks across the organization, like check marks and others, and fast security fixes, not weeks, but fast across multiple products, across dozens of products immediately, as fast as possible. Leaders and HR people department wanted a bit more common stack for hiring and other purposes. Leaders wanted more modern tech stack, which makes sense. CEO always wanted to be ready for different merge and acquisitions, and architects want common architecture. Apply this, but engineering saying at the same point, you know what, we want the guidance, but we want to be flexible. Same operation saying we want to run all this in the black box. Okay, so if you want a bit more fable, read here. And just like if you can read this, you don't need glasses. Perfect. Let's go. Problems we encountered. So now it's problems just like more technical. Great. As you know, in native representation of our CNCF, we have number of tools for DevOps, engineering, the operations, and it's more than 1,000. It's growing exponentially now. Just check how many variations of to build different solution you have. Thousands and thousands and thousands. And we had this typical situation when every team had a bit different technical stack, CI/CD, hosting, security, monitoring. So how to hire, how to onboard people, how to put different solutions, how to provide what about the bills for cloud and other pieces. very complex, hard to manage, but we need to find the way. And instead of checking how's my LinkedIn, I wanted to check, how we can solve the problem and enable business together. So first thing, of course, DevOps is great. DevOps, just like showed, it's not only methodology, and we wanted to apply DevOps properly. So the problem with DevOps, if you ask ChatGPT, if you ask anyone, go figure how to apply this properly in your organization, in your use case. So first, DevOps is great, but how to do it? Secondly, we wanted to do the proper team structure, right? So Team Topologies is an amazing book, and it's like one of the greatest, just like guidance of the latest, I would say, decade. So there is fundamental type of teams. How to apply this? Similar. Go figure. You need somehow to build the organization to apply these particular principles. So take a look. Last, especially a few years, it became very understandable. These two principles, DevOps and team topologies, are very well connected in platform engineering. We found this through trying different methodologies, just from my experience from architects, from other people experience, who we listen to each other and apply it in different organizations, be best practices. Make sure you have a great team. So the great way to apply DevOps and team topologies principles, the platform engineering center team. You can see then how it works. So how? I told you I'm technical, so let's do the demos. That's the best part of the day typically. When you start with your platform, before you come to some even steps, make sure that you do resolving some business problems. Business problems can be different. So people can ask you how to deliver my security keys just like properly in CI/CD, how to run my applications, how to create front-end, back-end applications. So some solution, to deliver the some solution, everyone should know where to find you. It's your brand. Just like, so start thinking about this as a product. So simple solution, DocuShower or MK Docs allow you to create simple documentation site. So take a look. We created, this is one of the examples. Designers together with front-end team created a simple DocuShower based project which allows you provide versioned documentation for your solution, whatever it is. In this particular case, it was the guidance how to use UI library. Here, how you create your basic application, then it represents you some changes in every version, how to use different parts of it. Simple, fast, great. Start, deliver, see what happens, and start finding your fit as a platform. Great. But when you become actually known in the company, what do? You go to backstage. Why backstage? You will see why backstage. Backstage was done in Spotify on their experience of rolling platform engineering to more than 100 teams, right? So this is open source, free to use. Nice advertisement, right? To them. Platform portal solution. So it allows you to create one ecosystem, one part where everyone can read about all the microservices applications used in your organization. Their documentation, their API. Here you can find all the swaggers, how to use each app, and also the level of adoption, cloud cost, and yada 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 yada. It also allows, the most interesting, to create the microservices and application, and this will be our next step. So let's come to it. You got it, yeah? Start from something simple, start bringing the benefits for the business, for your engineers, for your operations. Great. So you have some particular stage of the platform, which is childhood. Okay, so childhood, it means from the team structure, you have some combination of some product team which created this particular platform side, right? Some integrations with operations and security, and you have some stages. So most of all, it's your platform side. Then there is some guidance how to create your applications, how to integrate this with CI/CD, which testing tools to use, some childhood steps. Great! This is good beginning, by the way. You on the right path. So then, where you go then? Typically, it will be very fast, depending on your organization. It might be some mobile parts, it might be some front-end parts, back-end parts. I will describe front-end, back-end, and DevOps parts. So for front-end, right, you can use some application template like create React app, Next.js, something to create basic applications similar to which I showed you to download, and make sure that there is a few team members dedicated to work on design system. This is the platform, to be honest. Yeah, so your UI framework, which can go across the whole organization, across the customers. For example, in our case, it allowed us to have the great redesign delivered for customer, for business. It delivered the good feedback, new sales. The development team created different components, UI guidance, how to use analytics, and this particular site, how to create the pages, right? So how to do step-by-step application, how to create them. Great. So make sure that you're using some tools to build the framework, right? Secondary, to build the application. This is your actually goal. Similar, define what you do on the backend. We'll come to databases and other pieces. So define, just like, start from 1, 2 maximum types of backend. Just like, don't go 25 different Node.js, Java, Python applications. Start something what is the core of your organization. In our case, in most organizations I worked, it was Java, and we went with the Spring Boot, right? Some people, in some parts we used Node.js, in some parts we used Python, but here in this demo I will show you JHipster and how we integrate this with Backstage, because it's part of my experience, right? So what JHipster gives you, it allows you as a platform developer to create simple application which can be reused by others, and provide some interface which later you can deliver this and customize this for your customers. So imagine your customer can just like, it can be said, okay, download some basic application and just like, or create a usual one. So here it asks you what the type of name. It will give you the ideas what you need to include in your platform. So after the typical questions, it will start asking you which type of authentication you need. You will need to solve this later, right? Which type of database you will need. You will need to define this for your organization. For example, in my case, I will just like put Postgres, but you need to decide decide, is it Aurora, is it Postgres, what you gonna do with all the goodness of cache, is it Redis, is it something else. So make sure that you resolve this. What about build system? All these pieces you will need to define in your platform. You can just like hide this from users in the app template, or allow them to pivot a bit. You define based on your, again, just like application needs. So similar, using this particular approach, I created my app. So here, take a look. In my example, it's a simple web interface. So here, here it allows you, it's a simple React application, which also allows you, so here it's, simple React, this Java Spring Boot, nothing special here, and all this was wrapped by, okay, I want just like MySQL database, I want to have the JWT tokens, and yada 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 yada. So I started it, here it's up and running. Let's go and see what happens. So here is my app running on localhost. Perfect. So welcome Java hipster. As you see, it started a database of my choice, something what I predefined. Your platform, with your architect, you need to define which databases you want to build into your platform, and it should be already rolled out in your application. So let me sign in. This should be my developer experience. I just already get from you something which gave me database, some simple structure and guidance. Put your application logic here. So business problem which wanted actually to be solved by engineering, they wanted to concentrate on business logic. Just remove from us all these pieces which is not running application, deploying up. Perfect. You're resolving their problems. So, question: how we include all this in our backstage? So we want this, my app, to be delivered not through this, but into backstage. Let's do it. I told you, backstage is open source. Use it. That's what we did. So download your instance of backstage. Create your clone of the repository. It allows you to start backstage. So here you see just it started my backstage on my local machine. It also just has backend and frontend. And here you see just some example website, create a few examples, and it says, you know what, you can allow others to create application based on your template. So you can put some up like I just told you as a template in the backstage, which is your documentation platform portal for all your customers. So how are we doing this? It's very simple. Take a look how I did this. Here, I just said, you know what, please take my app template, which I added here. In this my app template, I just took all my application and I added a few pieces. Terraform, I added just developer experience, what the test should be run on pre-commit and other pieces, yeah. I also said that, you know what, customer can give a different name and it will be used in the template. Customer can also create a CI/CD. How? GitHub. I want to use GitHub because it's what some of our teams use it. You need to define this. As your organization can be GitLab, can be Atlassian, whatever you use. So here, backstage allows you just to put different types of host of CI/CD. So let's see. After I created all this, so take a look. Here it's backstage running on my particular machine. I'm saying, I imagine now I'm playing a customer of my platform. I want to create a template application that will use my app. I want to create my microservice. In my microservice, I want to put this on GitHub. I am the owner. Here's my GitHub. I want to call this my app, and I want simply this guy, just I want to create microservice. This microservice should contain all the goodness which I described you, except it's a predefined authentication, except it's predefined developer experience, like run the particular tests on commit. It also provides for me CI/CD. Here, I told you, when we created a template, we said that, you know what, depending on the name which customer we provide, it will be provided by CI/CD template, which will run Terraform and publish it to the URL of such kind, right? You can put here test, you can put here any, just Git hooks and other, depending on the needs of your organization. So what it's trying to do, it just connects to my GitHub. As I said, can be GitHub, GitLab, can be anything, and creates the repository. This repository will contain microservice of my choice. This will be my app, Java Spring application this month. So let's see what happens. It will take some time. Sorry, I need some magic code. Perfect, it says it's done. So let's see. Okay, I'm just going. Yay! I don't bullshit you. So take a look. It created for me the app by the name which I chose. It already just like provided all this developer experience, Terraform, yada yada. And the best, it triggered for me the build and deploy, right? Let's see what happens. Come on. We shall commit. Here we are, build and deploy. It will go to AWS. Perfect. So meanwhile, I will see what we created. In Terraform, we will have the destination. Let's see. Okay, and it says put this on some specific URL in AWS after your user created that. So I did just adjust it. What do I have? I have my application which I had up and running locally. So take a look. Locally I was running this app. Remember, I just like logged in as an admin. So here is Java Hipster on my local host. So what happened? This was my local host, right? I put this in my backstage. My customer created microservice which added this to their GitHub, and finally it's up and running and have CI/CD and my tests and anything on their side. Done. You have +1 happy customer. They go to your Slack and say, thank you, dear platform developer. I also, by the way, need this, and that feature. Done. So, guys, that's the magic of platform development. And of course, there is plenty other apps. Make sure that you're using the proper application. Can be, for example, Express for your Node.js. It can be Python-based application. Make sure that you packing this properly inside of your backstage. By the way, backstage will register that, okay, here is my application which we created with the links to GitHub, with the docs which we provide. It will also measure your adoption, check your CI/CD, everything. So this is the place to go for both you as a platform developer and your customers. So use it wisely. As I said, it's free and nice. Okay, so where we are at this particular stage. We already have some platform team, platform POC, right? You already have some customer who created actually microservices, maybe micro frontends, used some of your apps. You collaborating well with ops and security, and it starts growing your platform. It starts giving the business value. So in terms of platform overview, we already have backstage or something similar. We covering CI/CD parts, we providing some testing parts, infrastructure, and maybe later we'll add something else, observability, for example, and other pieces which you didn't touch. So what's next? Great, with some adolescence part, we will need to come to maturity. Okay, after having these 3 years of development and giving presenting this to a few teams, I created a GitHub repository with the links to the tools which used in platform engineering. There is also contributors to this site, a link I will add in the end. So here, part which I described to development portal and the documentation, backstage and other pieces, how to create microservices, how to create front end, how to add feature flags, infrastructure as code, artifact management, security, Kubernetes, service mesh, quality, testing, observability, auto-decay, AWS. Yeah, just like all these pieces here together with the goodness of YouTube articles, yada yada. Check it, you will find a lot of interest. But to deliver the goodness, let's imagine we want to add observability. I already just like created, so imagine you're a platform developer, you want to add observability and maybe authentication and allow this across your 20 customers, right, over the time. And these 20 customers need to spend time to adopt it, right? So how to simplify what is the cost of these upgrades and how you roll out the new features and versions. So take a look. This is good research which is showing, the similar is based on my experience. When you have around 100, 200 plus people inside of your organization, developers, yeah, for example, and ops using your platform, the cost of upgrade per year starts going towards few people full-time salary. It's huge. Let's think once again, just like even inside of the organization, it will be a few people time cost. Just like you can put full-time, 3, 4, depending on the location, developers who will just like for the same price give the updates for everyone. Doesn't make any sense, right? And now imagine it's growing, growing, and growing. So you need to simplify this, otherwise nobody will take the new versions. You will not have any new. Everyone will stuck with your previous parts, yeah, just like no security fixes, no goodness. So there is tooling which allows to cover front end and microservices parts, for example, again, just like it's in JHipster, but there are others like Renovate. It's very great to cover dependencies updates, right? So typically you will need, I don't have time to show all this, but you will need to build a system. You will find some useful links which will allow you to push automated upgrades. So just let me open for you an example. So here you will need to imagine you have 20 customers and you will need a system where you just like push the commit or just like press a button, and it will generate automated pull request to each of your customers with descriptions that, okay, here I'm some bot which generates the pull request for you. Pull request includes the changes. First of all, it includes the links to, okay, what is the process, why it even came here, so no surprises, yeah. Secondly, what is the release notes of the platform version which is proposed here, and file changes. Typically, it comes with some updates of the dependencies, so security fixes can come here. Content updates, and sometimes some import changes, and yada 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 yada. So when your team is happy, you're a customer developer, everything what you need to put, merge pull request. Of course, it should provide the ephemeral deployment environment, somewhere where you can test your front end or your API up and running after this change is applied. Yeah, so then when you're happy, everything works, all the tests passed, you see, everything passed, all the linters, you just merge pull request. That's the way to eliminate this freaking crazy cost, which is growing, growing, and growing, and have everyone on the latest version. This will allow also, in our case, it allowed us to roll out observability, accessibility fixes, yeah. Also, it was authentication when we defined the new our system. Okta, we started switching to it by using this particular approach. So just like gradually roll out this across platform users. When you will come to this point, so first look at this particular right part, yeah, you finally will have some maturity. You finally can use platform for business cases to improve what the to start thinking about what about common database solution. Maybe you want to use AWS Aurora or something from Google platform. How you can start adding the guardrails on the security checks, tests, common test strategy across the platform, across the organization. You can finally define some observability tooling which will be across, again, just finally upgradability. This is maturity. Then you have the platform which is scalable, which has the good adoption across, and you will see that your team magically, yeah, you will come to the size of already dozens or even hundreds people as we did, yeah, and you will see that your platform team become a bit just like specialized, yeah. It's impossible to know everything, yeah. So some people work on backend, frontend, and you will start dividing this at some point. Infrastructure team, frontend part, backend part, common services, which is just like more specific to authentication, observability. Sometimes even just like it comes to the merge with the ops and security into one organization. Sometimes it stays separately. I saw both working, so don't think there is actually something here, but this is typical pattern. You will see this growth, just like if you're successful, if you're doing things right, platform will grow and will bring the benefits. I will show you the jackpot strategy later, but for now, seeing that, when you did all this maturity phase inside, you need to go outside. But okay, we'll come to this. So summary. Okay, when we came to this maturity stage, finally we can we came to summary what we achieved. Yeah, just like it's a few years process typically, right? And we delivered more than 50 applications to the customers which were platform based. Yeah, so just like 50 applications, regular updates to customers, great. Microservices amount was more than 100. We started adopting micro frontends and it fit well to also in the architecture, so we provided the good things together with the UI framework in the organization. So some good things, yeah. MVP of the app from its creation to the production MVP part went down for around 2 times, yeah, just like so percentile 95. Why? Mainly, to be honest, because of the automation of CI/CD parts and having something answered, right? You need to make sure that it's golden pass, not golden cage for your engineers. Otherwise, they will say, nah. Anyway, looks like we did a great job, right? So meaningful time to repair decreased twice. This is very useful. So your production cluster goes down, boom, yeah, nobody can use your platform. So what happens? Just like 9 hours, so just like craziness on call 1 levels, everyone go crazy. So we went more than twice more just like reactive in this particular part. Great. Also thanks to some common cross-organization platform benefits. Availability, we went from crazy amount of outage to 5 minutes here, yeah, so just like 5 nines. Great. It was not only platform, it was effort of the whole organization, but of course platform support. NPS, clearly big good jump, and just like sums up was like for the platform effort and how to improve the cognitive load to go down. Okay, great. So tips from experience. If you know the famous just like sayings of Julius Caesar, actually experience is the best teacher. So what I will suggest you to do after all these years of experience of doing this from the very inside to working with other teams. Make sure that as with any product, if you ever run your product, pilot team should be first happy customer. They need to become your evangelist and say thumbs up, this is great. If they say this is bad, good luck. Just like half year or just like bad reputation for you. Platform should be treated as a product from the very beginning. Why? Because otherwise you will solve technical problems. Business doesn't care about which technology uses it, Python, is it Java. It's your problem, it's your area, you define this, which is great. Yeah, just like what they want actually the output. Others want similar. They don't want somebody to dictate technical solution. They want the solve of their problems. That's why you need to think about developer experience. Think about the include PM, platform PM, technical PM as soon as possible. So Mindshift change, your developers are your first customers. Think about this, you will learn a lot during this process. And okay, tips. UI adoption, UX. You already have just like so more than 20-50 people already supporting you, your evangelist, great. Similarly, for infrastructure, DevOps are your guys. If DevOps don't like your infrastructure, never will happen that your platform will be successful. I mean, makes sense, right? And security. If you can help to provide common, just like the security guardrails, if you can help security fixes, CIO or all security organization will just like support you as crazy. Make sure that you build these bridges across, yeah, and cooperate with all the leaders in and out. So just like work with leadership for a top-down support for bottom-up enablement. Great inspirational phrase, which is just truth, to be honest. Yeah? Here is famous jackpot platform strategy I promised you. So what we did, after creating all this major platform and just like see all the benefits, was the crazy idea. Why not to give this to customers? Our customers also created their applications. They also had problems how to run this on our platform. And when we did, it was a big surprise. They wanted more. They wanted more. This is a platform, more features. And of course, it added headache and problem and support, but it was immediate attention and just like, no more questions why we investing in platform. It was another next stage of just platform evolution. So come to this and you would like it. Don't be afraid. Okay, so outcomes, I promised you to make sure that I'm saying, okay, here are which problems, business problems we resolved, and here are the outputs. Yeah, so time to market. As I mentioned, it allowed platform approach, allowed us to decrease the release, just big release marketing event, just like it's one thing, but real ability to deliver, it was more than 6 times, to be honest. Yeah, so from 3 months product releases we came to weekly. Yeah, then we also lead time, so it's like time to market, if you wish, time to money, something, time to market, right? So it went from 9 days to 6 hours lead time, just like from the time commit actually edit to time it delivered to the production. Of course, 6 hours, it was just like at the very I think in the end it was 9. Yeah, just like, so 6 it's too much, and just like literally everyone like still was doing this. This is crazy. Security checks, where we got the great thumbs up from CIO. It was the story of PEEP and NPM supply chain break. So if you remember UI parser.js, when it was corrupted, NPM, all the NPM packages which is using each other were corrupted. Yeah, just why? Because we need to update one dependency immediately. So previously it would take, imagine, you have 100 applications, you have 200 teams, how to roll out this fix? Good luck. With the platform, in 3 hours we had delivery to the pro to the main part of the portfolio. How? Platform. This is your way to go. Better tech stack. So thanks to upgradability, more than 80 percentile of projects using platform using latest, greatest suggested stack and features. That's where ENPS and other pieces came from. Yeah, so think about this automated upgrades and other pieces. Be ready for merchant acquisitions. Hard to measure, but for example, we acquired a company, small one, just like it was 50 developers, and typically it takes quarters at least, right, to integrate this stack, but it was done in 4 months, and actually guys also gave the thumbs up. It was different stack, but we just like together used the API as the answer, but CI/CD and other pieces was great. It showed us that we didn't go crazy about enforcing you must use Java or you must use Python. It was quite flexible. We learned something as well. Yeah. Future projection. As only we came to the jackpot strategy, it went into customers' hand. Good luck. There was no questions from the board why we invest in this. It was otherwise just like, okay, the ask, give us more. Time to onboarding decreased 2 times, and cost. I showed you a few $100,000 was removed because of onboarding, common features rollout like observability and other pieces, and upgradability cost save. Of course, cloud budget is still just like work to do. You need to carefully revisit this, and it's a different topic altogether. Okay, this was amazing journey for me, my teams, and I trust our customers and business guys here. Just like make sure that you just starting your journey. I'm a big fan of going actually hiking, and just I suggest you to try your journey, find your ways, do the first step, create your platform site, platform solution. Start from the first step. This will bring you actually a journey of 1,000 miles. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn, and also feel free to digest platform engineering tooling on GitHub and contribute. Enjoy your journey. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Hello, Serg. Hey, happy to see you.
Howdy.
It's
Nice to
okay.
see
I
you
see
too.
you.
Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, I like your background. It's an airport, so every Ukrainians like
Yeah,
your
just like.
background. Believe me.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
between South Korea and India, but yeah, just like guys, all good. Yeah.
Oh, great trip. We wish you a good trip, by the way. So now we have time for
Thank you
one
very much.
question, and is it how to manage such a large stack of tools? Sometimes only one Terraform has to be constantly written and adapted to a new version. So help us.
Two pieces, yeah, guys. Of course, you will start from architecture alignment. Secondly, you will bring a meeting. Yeah, just bring a meeting with your best architects, staff engineers, and engineering leaders who are technical, and make sure that you start aligning. That's the first part. Secondly, in your organization, guys, if you again read just different books and if you work with great leaders, you will know that there is consensus is not always possible. Consensus is to try to please everyone, but also to displease everyone. Yeah. So disagree, but and commit, guys. So somebody decides. You very honestly agree that it might be not perfect solution. You try. If it doesn't work, go back. There is a good site, cloud native practices, adoption practices, and literally describes the strategy how you can do exactly this. So check it. I will put this in the Slack. Discord.
Discord, yes, great. So it's a great time to move in Discord, and you can talk with our participants there. So please, thank you again for your time. Thank you for your talk, and have a good trip. Yeah, see you.
Can you?
Bye.
Can you? Hey, thank you very much, guys, for having me. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
online still on Discord. Yeah, so waiting
Okay,
for your questions.
thank you so much. Yeah, bye.